Hi, my name is JP Lam, and on this episode of Naruhodo, we're going to learn about the Suzuki Method of music education. Many of you have probably heard of the Suzuki Method, or may have even done it as a child, but might not exactly know what it is. So today we've come to meet a Suzuki Method instructor to find out more. Let's go inside. Well, Dr. Ebisu, thank you so much for meeting with us today and taking time to teach us about the Suzuki Method.
My pleasure.
Can you tell me a little bit about the origin and philosophy of the Suzuki Method?
It was invented by Dr. Shinichi Suzuki after World War II, and he believed in the mother tongue philosophy in that if every child can learn a language, then they can learn music very easily.
And how early can children start training?
They can start as early as 3 or 4.
Actually, when I was a kid, I remember my parents started me on Suzuki violin lessons as well. But does it just apply to violin, or does it apply to other instruments as well?
It was originally just for violin, but it has been expanded to viola, cello, piano, harp, guitar, and flute now.
And what are some of the teaching techniques you implement as a Suzuki instructor?
So one of the main components of the Suzuki Method is group lessons, and that's so that you can get the kids together so they have a point to learning, so they can learn from each other, makes it fun. You can play games, you can reinforce what you're learning in your lessons. Another component is repetition. We use our repertoire to learn new techniques. Again, we play games. We don't just use technique, but it's really like learning a language. You learn through repeating the same thing over and over. The third thing is I was very fortunate to study with Dr. Suzuki when I was a child growing up in Japan. So one of the techniques he used was playing with your bow upside down, and it's very useful to strengthen your bow thumb, and it's one of his techniques that he is known for. And I use that and I pass that down to my students in group lessons. So,
how important are ear training and sight reading in the Suzuki Method?
So again, like learning a language, we learn to speak before we can read. So Dr. Suzuki really believed that ear training was so important, and so listening is one of the major points about the Suzuki Method. We learned to listen to the CD every single day, as early as you can, and that is our major point, ear training.
And what kind of repertoire are the children learning?
So we start with folk songs, and Dr. Suzuki chose Twinkle Twinkle Little Star as the first piece because he wanted all children to feel like they can play music and it's accessible to everybody.
And if someone wanted to get their child involved in Suzuki lessons, how would they go about doing so?
Sure, we have a Suzuki Association of Hawaii here. And if you're interested in taking lessons, you can go to our website, which is suzukihawaii.org, and you can find some list of teachers there on that website.
Well, thank you so much for your time today and teaching us about the Suzuki Method. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Thank you. Arigatou gozaimashita.
Well, thanks so much for watching this episode of Naruhodo. I hope you learned something new about the Suzuki Method of music education. Until next time, I'm JP Lam.